Hello crafters, in tonight's video we're going to be making 3 Valentine's cards using the Adoring Hearts Photopolymer stamp set dies and hybrid embossing folders. All of those can be found in the new mini catalog and they can be purchased separately or as a bundle. I recommend using the bundle code to save 10%. And then we're going to be using the Most Adored Specialty Designer Series paper for the background paper, and that can be found in the Sale-a-bration Brochure. Hi, I'm Joan and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan Simple Paper Crafts, found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down and we'll get started. Here are the cards we're going to make tonight. We're going to start with this one, and I'm going to do this one in detail, and then the rest of these I will speed through and just show the new stuff that we didn't have on this card. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to be using the Adoring Hearts Photopolymer stamp set, the Adoring Hearts Hybrid Embossing Folder, along with the dies. And for this one, we will use these here. And we'll use this die. We won't need the folder for right now. And then we will use these stamps here. What we need first is a piece of our Real Red cardstock cut at 4¼ inches by 11 inches, or that would be 10.8 centimeters by 27.9 centimeters. And I have it scored at 5½ inches or 14 centimeters. And I'm just going to fold that and burnish it. And I like to do it on both sides to give it a nice crisp edge. Then next we want to take is our inside card, and we're going to stamp that with our inside sentiment. And that's going to be this one right here. And we're going to use our Real Red ink. And I'm just going to line this up here. And I'm going to make these be level and let the love be at an angle there. There we go. And I'm just going to stamp off and use my scrubby over here on the side. Then we're going to put this down. And I'm going to use my glue gun, and I have this multi-purpose glue inside the glue gun. This is not a Stampin' Up! Product. It's from My Sweet Petunia, but I have problems with my wrist, so I can't use this bottle or the tiny bottles anymore. So I'm just going to use this, and we'll put some glue on here. What's really nice about this, you can get a nice stream here going. Or you can do little tiny dots. If you barely squeeze it, you can get little tiny dots there. And then you can just close it off right there, and it won't dry out. I even left it out overnight, and it didn't dry out on me. Then I'm going to put this inside here. This piece of cardstock is 4 inches by 5¼ inches, or that would be 10.2 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. And I'm going to use my bone folder just to get all the glue bubbles out. Then our next piece is the same size, 4 inches by 5¼ inches, or 10.2 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. And we're going to take this piece here, which is the piece of Most Adored Specialty Designer Series paper, and it's cut at 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, or 9.5 centimeters by 12.7 centimeters. And I'm just going to glue this down as well. And I should have my silicone mat so I don't get my surface all full of glue. So let me get that out here. I'm using the new glass mat, and I really love it. You can get that for free when you join during Sale-a-bration, which will go until the end of February. And I think February 29th. I think we've got 29 days this year. If you want more information about that, you can just contact me and I can get you more information, or look in the comments section below on Sale-a-bration. And then we're going to glue this down. I don't know, did I give you the dimensions on that other piece in centimeters? In centimeters, it should be 9.5 centimeters by 12.7 centimeters. Then I'm just going to glue this down here. And I'm leaving 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. And I did that on this card as well. Then next we want to do is cut out our hearts. And I have one already done in red, which will glue down right here. And I'm going to close this up before we get our hands in there. And so we're just going to put little dots here. Not even squeezing it. That's how much is out from when I did the other one. Now I gotta start squeezing it. It'd help if I was able to hit the cardstock rather than the center of the pad here. But at least the glue will just dry up on there. It won't hurt anything. And I'm just going to stick this right here. And we're going to cut out 3 of these using our mini cut and emboss machine. Lift this up here a little bit. And I'm going to cut a banner out at the same time if I've got enough room on here. We're going to start with the number 1 plate. And that has the directions, so then we need 2 number 2s with the paper in between. So this is the etched one. I don't care using this. Doesn't bother anything. This one has a little bit of etching on there, but since I'm using paper, I'll use this. Otherwise, if I was going to be doing foil, I would use a new one that doesn't have any etching on it. So I'm going to just pull this back here and stick these on here. You notice I don't have them overlapping. That helps it to go through the rollers a lot easier by having them just go one at a time. Even though it's a small die, it really helps. Let me put this away. Then I'm just trying to punch out all these loose pieces of paper. And then we'll poke out the heart itself. And there's one there. Now, I was able to get the designer series paper for free by purchasing the bundle to make me eligible for a free product. So I chose the paper that went with these. Okay, I'm going to just take a second to throw this in the trash. We'll stamp this right away too, then we can be done with all our stamping. And I'm just going to line this up here. Just kind of helps me to get everything lined up on the grid here. And then I'll be able to get this on here. Sorry about my head getting in the way. Very good. Then we'll use some dimensionals. Get that on there. Let's get this on here first. So let's bring in our silicone mat again. And I cleared the board with my sleeves, didn't I? So I'm trying to make sure I got them the right way. So they're rounded edges here. So I want to flip it over and put the glue on the inside here and here. You probably can't see the glue, but I'm doing the same thing as I did before, just putting little dots in there. That needs to come out, a little bit of the center one. And we'll just set that up here. And we'll do this one. Then what I'm going to do next is put on this with dimensionals. I like to make sure that I've got enough on so that when it goes through the U.S. Postal Service, that it doesn't get all wonky. And now we'll just set it right here. We're done with this card. You could put rhinestones on, but I chose not to. These would really work well, the iridescent rhinestones. All right, we're going to go ahead and start the next card. Here's our next card we're going to make. I did a little mistake, so I'll fix this on the next card. I've got it turned wrong. I really wanted it to be like this, and I got it attached before I noticed it. And I didn't want to take all the time to try and heat it and pull that off. So I will take a piece of cardstock and stamp it and have it in the right direction there. So we're going to do this one. It's going to be the Adoring Hearts again. We'll be using Just For You, and we'll also be using You Are Most Loved. And then we're going to be using the Adoring Hearts Hybrid Embossing Folder. And I've already got the banners here done. We don't need to do those right now. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to take a piece of cardstock that is 6 inches by 12 inches or 15.2 centimeters by 30.5 centimeters. And we scored it at 6 inches. And that's going to be 15.2 centimeters. Then we want to stamp the inside, and I'm going to use my Versamark, and we're going to use that with our gold embossing powder. Let me get the powder ready. I'm going to use this on the inside here. That is powder, and it releases the static electricity from the card, and that makes it stamp a lot easier. Then I'm just going to take our embossing powder. I'm going to just do it right over this dish, and it doesn't get all over your work surface. That looks good. I'm just going to try and tap off the extra. We've got this brush that comes with the kit. The kit has a tray in it to stamp over, and it has this little brush. It has the bag of powder, and I think that's it in the kit. And that's in our everyday catalog. I have to get it down really close to see if there's any powders on there, because if there's a little bit, it'll darken up, and I can see quite a few here, so I'm going to just brush those off. Probably don't see them, but I can see them. I think the rest will be fine. So then we're just going to take our heat gun. Let me get this out of the way. Don't want to melt it, all that powder. So I'm heating the back first before I'm going to come and do the front. And you can see it's starting to turn a little color here, a little different color. So I'm going to come out to the front. You want to keep moving the heat gun, because if you stop, you can scorch your paper, and it can change how the embossing powder would set up. It's almost like it scorches the powder as well. I don't know if you notice how it's shiny now. I almost have it all done. These small words here are done, and like I just need to get the loop on the L yet. It's kind of has a little bit of powdery in it. There. I don't know if you can notice how there's little powders there that they set up, and I'm not going to touch that because it is a little bit warm and it will leave my imprint on there. So I'm just going to push it to the side while I stamp this next one. And I'm going to put this in these little needle nose here right away. And then I'll put that in the little bucket of powder. And I'm just going to lift these off. They got some powder on them. And I'm just going to, my magic brush, I do have a regular paintbrush that I also use to get some of these fine lines. And I'm just going to clean this real quick because I don't want to leave impressions onto here. And then we're going to use that heat gun again. Looks like I've missed on a couple of those little dots there, but that looks okay. It's handmade, right? I'm going to just set that down to cool. Next we want to do is we want to put our designer series paper on here. And I'm going to fold this and I'm going to burnish this. And like I said before, I burnish it on 2 sides. And now I want to make sure that I'm putting this on the right side. I'm going to put this on here. I want to see how we want to put that on there. I just want to see, that's how, what the pattern will be like. And if I put it on that way versus this way, I think I'll put it on this way because I'll have my ribbon down here. Put it like that. So I'm going to get our glue gun out. Now we just need to line that up, and we don't want to show any cardstock. We want to line it up right from the bottom all the way up to the top. Next we want to do is hybrid emboss this. Hybrid embossing means we want to use dies and the embossing folder. So we're going to take this die here and we're going to put it in here with the Stampin' Up emblem right there, and you can feel it, it just clicks in. So that's in there, right? And then I'm going to put this face down because I want to put the markings on the gold side up. That'll make the nice edges for all the cutting areas. Then we're going to bring up our large cut and emboss machine. Hopefully I got enough room here. We can get it on here. Let me move this out of the way. Then we need to use the number 4 with this because it's this one right here we need to use. So let's get that in there. Then we put in our embossing folder. I notice I put the folded edge toward the center here. And then we'll use the number 4 plate. And then we'll crank that out. We have 9 hearts that we cut out. So those are embossed hearts there. And we're going to use this for our card base. And then these we'll take 3 of these for our card base as well. And we'll use the last set of them on the last card. So now we have this, and we want to put dimensionals on the back of it to hold it in place. So let's get that lined up the right way. And I'm going to get my dimensionals going right here. I'm going to put dimensionals in the corners here. And then I'm going to use the outer edge of all these dimensionals to line up along here. And I'm putting the large dimensionals in the center here as well. Now we're just going to take all this paper off the back. Now we want to put it onto here, and we want to line the edges again. We're going to match them right up to the edge. And I want to make sure I'm getting it on here correctly. So there's You Are Most Loved. And here's my hearts going that direction. So we should be fine. Got it lined up on the bottom. Let's see how well we do on the top. Oh, I missed it here. Pull it quick before it sticks, then you can readjust it. There, I like that. Next we need is our hearts on here. We're going to put 3 on here. I'll do one of these, and let's do one of these. I'm going to use dimensionals and glue on here. So the dimensionals I'm going to put on the ends here, and then I'll put the glue in the center. So I'm going to put them down with glue first. We'll wiggle our dimensionals in there. Then we're just going to take these big dimensionals here. I may have to trim them down a little bit, but I'm going to take the paper backing off first, and then pull it up and wiggle it in here. We'll cut 1 in half for this one down here. We can use these here. They're about half the size. Then I can use a big one up there again. I'm going to take that paper backing off. Next we're going to glue these together. I'm just going to put glue on the top banner and then we'll attach it. And I'm going to grab some ribbon. We're going to use the Simply Elegant trim, and then we use the gold. And we want it to loop around a couple times there. And I'm just going to put these on with dimensionals. I'll put one right here. And then we'll put some over here. Bring that up here. And maybe I can bring this one down here somewhere. And we'll take these off. And we're going to pull some of these down here a little bit. This dimensional is in the wrong spot because it's preventing the label from sitting in the right spot. Let's see if I can't get these now. And then I'm going to use some glue dots on the ends here. So we'll put a glue dot underneath that as well. Just adds a little more adhesion. Now we can add some gems, and I am going to put them on this one. We're going to use the iridescent rhinestones, and I'm going to use these big ones here. Put one here. There. Now we're done with this one. We'll get to the next one. We're going to save these for that last card. I did want to point out, I did another one where I did the designer series paper glued right to this piece here, and then we used the dimensionals, and I actually used foam adhesive strips taken from the annual catalog and went all the way around the edge and then did up and down the sides there. And that was what I did with that card. Here's the last card we're going to make, and I think this one's my favorite. These look like medallions, and we have one inside the card as well. And we have to start with a piece of basic white cardstock, and that's going to be the thick cardstock. And it should be cut at 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches and scored at 5 1/2 inches. So that would be 10.8 centimeters by 27.9 centimeters and scored at 14 centimeters. And I've already got the gold foil on here because we showed how to line a piece of paper up to a card base on the previous card, so I didn't have to do that. I've already got that done. And that piece is 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, or 10.8 centimeters by 14 centimeters. And the piece of gold foil that was cut at 6 inches by 6 inches, and it was done 15.2 centimeters by 15.2 centimeters. We've already did that. And so I just kept all the medallions. That's all we needed out of that one, was the medallions. And then the next piece was our designer series paper. This is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, or 10.2 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. I have that glued down too. So what we want to do next is we're going to do our gold foiling in here, where we're going to stamp and emboss it. So let me get that ready. So I want to stamp it above the halfway mark, right about here. And then we're going to dust it with our gold powder. And I should have used our dusting bag before we started this, but I can just brush off the little bit that's there. I need to take my glasses off so I can see though. So I'm just trying to get rid of these little dots here. And we'll put them down here. We'll come from this side next. I think we're good. So we're going to bring our heat gun in next. I'm going to top this off before we go any farther. The last thing I want to do is dump this on the floor, so let me get that in place. Then we'll take one of these medallions here and we'll glue that right above here. I'm just going to use our glue here. And next we'll do these. We need to find 5. We'll put them on there like that. And I'm going to just get my ruler out. I have a T ruler and I'm going to put that on here so that we can make sure that we've got these lined up evenly. I more want to just have them lined up here, the top of them. Okay. And then we'll take one of these and put it above it. And I'm actually going to use my glue dot to just kind of stabilize that. Should I put it on before I put the glue on? Because it is going to be a little bit taller, and so I'm going to do that. And then we're going to line this up again so we can get these other ones on the side done. So again, I'm going to do the glue dot in the middle. Now you see I've got them hanging over the edge, and I did that intentionally. I wanted it to go all the way out to the edge, well into that gold line. And I'm going to just take my scissors and snip that off now. And I'm just going to use the card as a guide. There. Then next we have is our banner down here, and I already did the gold embossing, and I'm going to cut it off with this pick up banner punch, and I marked where I wanted it to kind of stop here with a pencil, and then I stamped it, so I knew where I needed to be to stamp it here. And I'm going to put this inside here. We want this banner right here, and then I'm just going to punch it. And then we'll cut that off. I'm going to just get my pencil eraser and erase that. I want it to be square, so I don't want to use my scissors because I could probably get the angle wrong. And that's about where the pencil mark was. And that's my scoring blade, and here's our trimmer blade. We want to go ahead and put our ribbon on. We're going to use this gold ribbon. It is a Simply Elegant trim. That's what we used on the other card. And we're going to put it on the back of this with a dimensional. I can probably cut that off a little more when we figure it out. I am going to just get it lined in here. And we'll use one dimensional right here. So I got those two down there. And we'll do another loop like this. So I'll get another dimensional, and we'll put that one down right in the center here. And then the last one will go on the end. And we'll take your pick tool. And we'll just put it right there. I'm going to line it up so it hits the gold line. And I think these are done. Oh, let's do some gems on here. We'll bling it up a bit. So let's do a little bling on here. All right, we are done. It looks like I told a lie. I'm going to try one more card using the brayer. And I'm going to take a 6-inch by 12-inch piece of cardstock, and I'm going to color the hearts on there using this brayer and the embossing folder. I'm going to set that up here. There's little feet on here. I'm going to put the feet downward so that'll keep it from marking the ink on everything. And I'm going to lift this out of here because I don't want to get that on everything. Actually, I can probably put that in there over here. Okay, so now I'm going to put this paper in here. This is a 6 by 12-inch piece of designer series paper, 15.2 centimeters by 30.5 centimeters. And I'm going to put it in this way, trying to get it in there without marking everything up. Now we'll bring in our cut and emboss machine. As you can see, I can't put it in this way. That's the folded edge. So I'm going to have to run it in this way. We'll run water on this in the sink. Now we've got this. And I probably could have sprayed it a little bit because of the embossing. Kind of got wrinkled there, but looked pretty good. So we're going to just get our trimmer out and we're going to score it. And then we'll just fold it on that score line and we will burnish it from the back side. We don't want to burnish it on the front because that will flatten our embossed image. So we should probably stamp something on the inside. Why don't we do our Valentine? To my Valentine. And I think I have some of those hearts yet. Let me see if I got one here. Can move that. What do you think, that one? Or this one? Let's do this one. I think I like that one instead. And I'm thinking I'm done. I don't think I want to do anything else with that. I like that. All right, 4 cards instead of 3. I hope you'll like this project as much as I did. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it, and would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. And don't forget to check out Sale-a-bration in the comments section below. There's also a link for the new mini catalog. Mark your calendars. I'll be back next Sunday, February 4th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll be doing something from the new mini catalog. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.